website sitting on a pile of America's most sensitive secrets. Who's behind WikiLeaks and where do they get their money from? We follow the Wiki money trail. Plus, Charlie Rengel's back from the Thanksgiving break with a campaign to dodge his punishment on the Hill. But shouldn't this lame duck Congress be focused on more important things like that humongous tax hike that's coming in just a few weeks? Also, NBC's Person of the Year is the developer of the Ground Zero Mosque. Do they do this stuff just to tick me off? And the recent GM stock sale has the United Auto Workers reaping billions more than taxpayers or any other investor. Sounds like it beats working for a living.
Journalist or is he?
This building is located 2 blocks from the site of the most horrific attack on American soil in anyone's memory. And you say that when you first envisioned this project, it never crossed your mind that there would be controversy over that. You seem like such a smart guy. I'm surprised that it never crossed your mind.
Not once have I held my faith accountable for the horrific events of 9/11. I am an American. I am an American who has a specific belief system. And my belief system, in order to be a Muslim, you have to be a good Jew and a good Christian.
In a recent special, NBC named Ground Zero Mosque developer Sharif El-Gamal one of their Persons of the Year. A shocking choice as far as I'm concerned. A man whose motives remain very questionable. Our good friend Pam Geller, Executive Director of Stop Islamization of America, is here. Pam, is it me or is NBC gone bananas?
Bananas. Let's be honest. Here's a guy who was arrested for assault. Is connected with Al-Zanati, who was convicted of Medicaid fraud. That's how they financed the building. He tweets that beating people up makes him feel better. Could you imagine if I tweeted that, what the media would do with that? If he was opposed to the mosque, his conviction, his arrest for beating up a tenant would be all they ever talked about. But they're exalting him. The only thing worse than this is Time magazine putting up Imam Raouf as their Person of the Year.
Let's talk about the location of the Ground Zero Mosque. Again, I'm lost friends in 9/11. I'm been on record of saying move the mosque. But here, when they wanted to build the mosque there, they said it's not Ground Zero. It's not 9/11. It's a couple of blocks away. It has nothing to do with it. Now, they're asking for 9/11 money, funding. What am I missing?
When it's convenient, it's part of Ground Zero. When it's not convenient, it's not. And that building is Ground Zero. That building was destroyed by a piece of the landing gear. And this is what people need to know. It is a war memorial. It's very much a part of 9/11. And it is very deceptive of him for him to say he's an American. Well, you know what? An American value is a value of tolerance and harmony, plurality. This is a stab in the eye. He has created this discord, and the $5 million that they're going after.
$5.5 million.
$5.5 million from the 9/11 fund. Let me tell you something. They have to be fiscally responsible. Now, he was evicted from Soho Properties. The imam, his buildings were taken. The slum. Okay.
We'll get to it. David, what about NBC? I mean, man, Person of the Year. I mean, come on.
Hey, look. This is the left gone crazy, in my opinion. Again, here they are. If it was any other religion, they would find some way to talk about federal funds going to something that's going to have a mosque in it. But the apoplectic left has decided to leave this alone. So that doesn't fit either, because this $5.5 million is federal money, and there's a mosque going there or some kind of faith center. And on top of that, I'm back to the argument. If it isn't Ground Zero and it is Ground Zero, this is a shyster game.
Garland, what about it? The left saying, you know what, it's not Ground Zero, but wait a minute, $5.5 million, I think I want to be Ground Zero.
Well, today at least. Let me start by saying this, Miss Islamization of America. Your whole campaign, it's evil and it's creepy. When I look at Muslims and Jews and Christians, you know what I see? I see Garland Nixon. I see myself. So when I hear people saying the things that you say about the Muslim faith, I feel like you're saying it to me.
But what do I say? I am against this. I am for separation of mosque and state.
Well, you're making up words. Islamization. Where can you find that?
When you mosque the workplace, when you impose prayer times on union contracts, That's Islamicizing the secular marketplace.
Islamicizing?
Yes, Islamicizing. I have no
We
problem.
got a new, we have a whole, an
Listen,
entire new category of words
you
here.
can worship a stone. Just don't stone me with it. I believe in the separation of mosque and state. That's it. That's what the Islamification of America is, for example, where a person gets fired at Rising Star Industries because she's eating a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich in the company cafeteria. That's Islamicizing the public square.
Well, but Joey,
I maintain that
I
it's
want-
evil and it's creepy.
I want
Particularly
Joey to jump
creepy.
in
So
here.
let's not debate the
Not on whether
facts.
it's evil, whether it's creepy, whether it's legal or not. Do they have a right to any of this 9/11?
Listen, let me say this. Let me step back and look at what happened in terms of him being a person of the year. I think it was the proper thing to do. Now, why? I say that because it's about taking a stand, it's about taking a position, it's about forging a debate amongst people who have different areas of opinion and about coming either to a consensus or
What
not.
is,
Now, let me
Joey?
say this.
No, what is?
Okay.
The person of the year is about forging a debate?
No. Listen to me.
Isn't
What
the
I'm
person
saying,
of the year
Eric, the
someone who's
person of a year,
supposed to be held in esteem?
a person of a year is a person who takes a stand, and it's a person who goes out and has principles and says, this is what I'm going to do.
Adolf
If we
Hitler
make
should
this
Adolf
argument-
be the
Hitler
person of
been
the
a
year
short
for that
person of the year?
point.
I don't think it's fair to make the comparison between him and Adolf Hitler. That's number
No,
one.
but
I
but
think
wait,
he's
but
already
wait.
stated
Eric,
that.
here's
Hold
the
on,
problem.
David, I want Curtis to get in here before we
Well,
go on
now,
to
hold.
this.
You said a man who stands by what he says. I sat with him. As you know, I was a supporter of the mosque being built there.
I know.
He said he would never take public funds. It would be self-financed, private contributors from around the United States, and it expanded to overseas. So he's lied every step of the way. So you want to honor a liar?
Is that
man
a
who went on
lie,
the
or is
record?
that someone who alters their position? Everyone alters their position. If you look at any politician we talk about on this program, Democrat,
I wouldn't
Republican,
want a
or
politician
otherwise,
as man or
and
woman of the
what
year.
do they do? They constantly
Yeah,
reaffirm
Joe.
and they reevaluate their position. This person is controversial. He has helped everybody decide and
Except
take
for
a
his
stand. Should the
tenants.
mosque be there? Should they not
Except
be there?
for
And
his
I am on
slumlord
record, Eric,
tenants.
as
Running
saying
out
that
of
I
time.
disagree
He
with
did
the mosque.
debate.
This
Pam,
is,
last
this,
word.
is, this is intellectual dishonesty. I would never be named NBC's Person of the Year. Based
You
on
never know,
Based
Pam.
on
You
your
never
premise,
know.
based on your
You
premise,
never know.
I should
Nor
be.
should you.
Nor should you. So
You know
attack
what,
me.
Joe? Based on
you
your
will not debate
description-
the argument. You will attack me, and I'll tell
Eric,
you.
I'm attacking your position.
No, you're not.
Because
You're
it's
attacking-
absurd and
you're
evil.
saying I'm
And
evil.
creepy. It's
You're saying-
very creepy.
gonna have-
I
Your
think
position is creepy.
Islamicizing America.
Pam might be a good
These
person.
two-
You might be person of the year. You never know.
All right, we're going to leave it there. I want to say thank you to Pam Geller. Appreciate your time. Up next, 32 days till the biggest tax hike in history. So should a good old lame